What are we calling ourselves?
I don't know. Insert name here.
Yeah. Hello, and welcome back to Show Name.
Welcome to Nova Stalkers.
You know, with Guardians of the Galaxy, that could get a little weird.
You do realize she's the only person that carries a gun.
No, she isn't.
Well, she is in episode 3.
Nope.
Who carries a gun?
Wildstar.
Where?
In the engine room.
That's safe.
He's talking to Orion about, how can Captain Avatar keep killing people, essentially. And he's got his sidearm on him.
All right, well, she's the only one I noticed. She's got that whole hip slung...
Yeah, it's because it's down around where you're looking anyway, because of the arrow on her.
All right, well, we'll save that for the show, I guess.
Yes.
I'll bring it up again, and we'll just act surprised this time.
Yes.
I think we're going to be anime for old men. What do you think?
That's fine with me, and until we add other people in here.
Yeah, or until somebody calls us up and says, "Hey, we already have that name, and you need to stop using our name," which has already happened to one set of guys on the feed. So
yeah, it would be my first cease and desist order. Probably not my last, though.
Well, there's that restraining order I got. Never mind.
I wasn't going into that.
We're back again after our triumphant takeover of Star Wars Monthly Monday that we did get some feedback for on the forums. Yeah, I don't even know because I don't even remember how to get to the forums. So, honestly, I don't. It's been so long since I've been to the forums. I know they're there.
I know they're there too, but I joined up after everyone stopped using the forums and went over to Facebook. So I never even bothered going on. Which
is funny. That's where I really met and got introduced to a lot of the guys was on the forums, and then Facebook came around. So that's how long I've been listening. So, I mean, then Facebook took off, and that's where we ended up doing everything. But I'm sure in a few more years that'll go by the wayside, and we'll be doing something else.
Yeah, everything's evolving.
Yeah. In case you don't know who we are, I am Bill Robinson, and with me is Gene Hendricks. And
hello, everyone.
And we are two wild and crazy anime guys.
There's another title.
Oh, yeah, we could use that, too.
Wild and crazy anime guys.
Okay, we're not wild and crazy, so.
I don't know, I'm looking at your hair.
Oh, I have a haircut, so which yes, you've seen, but yes, that was a wild.
The ancient aliens guy is gone now.
Yes, now I'm more calm and reserved with my dark black hat, so that I'm not wearing at the moment. Right now, it's sitting on top of my gigantic HeroClix statue of Fin Fang Foom.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he looks. Of course, the hat is like 10 times bigger than his head, but well. You get the point.
He's a dragon. He's
a dragon, right? Who? He even at that size, who's gonna bother him? We did get some feedback. I do have an email that I'd like to read real quick before we get started in tonight's shows, and this came to me from Mr. Tim Elliott out in Texas. Tim has also been a contributor to, I believe, to the Planet of the Apes month for Two True Freaks. He dropped us a line via the Back to the Bins mail, which is where I which is how I was able to get to this. And he says, looking for the subject. Star Wars Monthly Monday 63 or Hurry, Star Force, Hurry. Greetings, Dr. Bill and Gene. Oh, and this will be the first time that Gene's heard this, too.
Yes.
Great episode on Space Battleship Yamato. I'm sure enough in my manhood to admit, after Scott's synopsis and the theme music began, I giggled like a small child. Speaking of Scott, someone needed to create a TTF medal for going above and beyond, but back to Star Blazers. I thoroughly enjoyed what I hope is one of many shows about this classic anime. Well, we hope so too. Yeah. I fell in love with Star Blazers in the early 80s when I would catch it weekdays after school. Here in Dallas, it ran at 3 p.m. Monday through Friday, so I was only able to catch it when I was sick or on holidays. I had watched Battle of the Planets, and I am a big fan of Gotchman. But this style of storytelling was richer, more sophisticated. My station never aired the third season. When I finally watched it on Netflix, I was shocked that the voice cast was completely different from season 1 and 2. My affection for Yamato led me to Robotech. See? It's like the gateway drug. Another dense anime with arcing stories and complex characters several years later. I really got caught up in the love triangle between Rick, Minmay, and Lisa. Oh, don't get me started on
that. We won't be talking about Minmay right now. We want to keep the blood pressure low.
You touched on several reasons why Star Blazers is a great show. The music is wonderful and sets it apart from contemporary American counterparts and helped build the character of the show. The different musical themes were vital to setting a mood, enhancing a scene, or conveying an emotional beat. I don't have the Yamato series soundtrack, but I do have the Yamato movie song album with all the vocals from the theatrical release films. The season-long story arcs also set it above your standard American cartoon. Star Blazers was space opera, and this long-form storytelling would be at home on today's television schedule, which, if you look at things now like, Doctor Who will do that, and many other shows will have a arc that travels through. Buffy was big on that. They would have the big bad that would build up through the season.
Yeah, that pretty much started, at least with U.S. television, with Babylon 5.
Mm-hmm. Which, you know what, I just read something that Babylon 5 that Straczynski is looking to do a movie. That's all
Another
I read.
One?
A Babylon 5 movie. I guess. I didn't read the article. I didn't have time when I was looking at it, and I didn't remember it until just now that you just said that. So that's all I know. I don't know when, where. Something in there said 2016 in the blurb for the article. So we'll see. Hopefully it's not a Superman movie. The animation style was more sophisticated and fluid compared to, say, Super Friends. Oh, come on, don't pick on the Super Friends.
Well, it's two completely different aspects of animation.
Meanwhile, at the Hall of Justice, although the voiceovers could be the same.
True.
Ted Knight doing... Hooray, Star Force! Hooray! I developed a strong emotional connection to these characters, and the writers did not shy away from them dealing with death or loss. I've read that in the original Japanese, the Yamato herself was more of a character, almost a hero, but the English version focused more on the crew. I've not seen all of those fully enough times to really notice that. Have you seen those?
No, actually, I've only seen bits and pieces of the originals. Pretty much everything I've seen has been the American version. But I do know in one of the episodes we're covering today that Captain Avatar actually talks to the Yamato, or the Argo in this one.
Is that the scene that's in episode 4?
Yeah, it's at the very end.
Where he's actually in a different outfit.
Yeah.
Because I mistook him for Orion out there. I was like, wait, is that Orion or is that Avatar? Now,
no, it's Avatar. He's... we'll spoil it a little bit for you people. But this is the only time you see him in a Star Force uniform. With the anchor arrowhead on the white and everything. But how everyone else has a different color. Wildstar has red. Orion has orange, Venture has green. Avatar is the only one with black emblems.
And then most of the pilots will have the
They'll have the yellow
yellow, yeah, black with yellow. Which we were talking earlier before this. I know I'm interrupting in the middle of the letter.
Tangents, amazing.
Tangent, tangent alert. I saw and I may have sent you a message when I was at Conjure in Orlando.
Yes, you sent me the picture of that. No, oh boy.
No.
Oh,
There was a guy wearing a black tiger shirt with a.
Yes, I saw that too. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if I see. I didn't get a picture of that. I wonder where.
Well, you sent me a bunch of pictures.
Okay.
Well, you sent me the one, and then I backtracked it.
Okay, yeah.
It was on that same.
Because there was one guy that had the Gizmonic Institute helmet on for Mystery Science Theater, and he had a black tiger shirt on. I was like, what? I'm so confused.
It's just a show.
It's like Reese's peanut butter, two great things, I guess, that go great together. But,
Now I want the Rift Tracks guys to do the live action Yamato movie.
Yeah, that would be good. And then we're going to tangent from the tangent before I get back to the letter, before I forget. The other thing that we saw was that Matt with Star Wars in Character, who also does the Artmore project, where they have the Boba Fett breastplate and sends it out to different artists to create their own do art for that. Then they auction it off for Toys for Tots. I believe last year they raised $10,000 through that. This year, and it was all for like a local Toys for Tots, I believe, up in PA. This year, I think they're going to split it between Orlando and PA. That should be coming up probably, obviously closer towards the end of the year. But he was inspired by our show, and his wife thanks me to no end. Every time I turn around, I hear the music, or he's got it in the DVD player. Thanks a lot, Bill. No problem, Christy. And
I'll let you take all the blame.
Yeah. Well,
she can't get to me. I'm in Jersey.
He did a breastplate of basically what was, of the red version of the shirt with the arrow and the side. I don't know if that's rank things on the shoulders. There's a picture of it. If you dig through Two True Freaks, Scott had him up there. And it'll obviously be up for the Artmore project. And I might have to bet. I might have to bid on that. I don't know. What do you think? You think you and I will get in a bidding war?
If you tell me you're going to bid on it, I will hold off. I'm that much of a gentleman.
Oh, well.
I'm also that poor.
Well, yeah. Well, the cheapest one, and I hate to sound this, I guess the one that went for the least amount of money was, I think, around $90 last year. So.
$90, wife's ire. $90, wife's ire.
Yeah, but you're always going to have your wife's ire for something you do. You might as well get something out of it. You got to think of it logically here. I'm going to do something to piss her off. I might as well plan what I'm going to piss her off with.
So you're saying the needs of the geek outweigh the needs of the wife?
Oh, yeah. Every time. Are you kidding
Except
me?
my wife is also a geek, so if I buy something for me like that, she's going to want something for her like that.
Well, just get her have them do one that looks like Nova on there, whatever.
Now, if I'm going to do that, I'm going to give her the spandex jumpsuit.
Oh, well there you go. And we'll just get back
to the email.
Back to the email. The wave motion gun. Enough said. And that's what it says.
Yes.
It's just one line. A few things I've noticed about the show. Have either of you ever noticed when there is an explosion in space, especially when a ship is hit, you hear faint sound effects of glass breaking? I'm going to have to listen for that closer now.
I haven't noticed, but now that he mentions it, I'll probably notice the next time I watch one.
And this next note he has, ever notice that Nova's radar screens look a lot like a pair of breasts?
Yes.
Although I think she only had one big giant radar screen in this one.
In the first season, she only has one, and seasons 2 and 3, I think she has the pair.
Ah, so the number of seasons is corresponded to the amount of breasts. So what, in season 3 she has 3?
Apparently they went Total Recall.
Okay. The Yamato must have the best repair crew in the universe because that ship took some of the most catastrophic levels of damage, and they always managed to put her back tougher. How could they recover when the drill missile tore through the entire length of the wave motion gun barrel? They must have Marvel's damage control on speed dial.
No, they go to the same repair place that Voyager does.
Yeah.
They have Avatar on his control console has the big red reset button. He hits that and all the damage is gone.
Yep. I'm going to try to keep this short, but great job, guys, and I hope this will become a regular feed on the TTF site, and we do too. P.S. Do either of you own or have seen the Yamato Perfect manuals? I was lucky enough to pick up Volume 1 and 2 in the 80s. They are like tech manuals with loads of drawings, but it's all in Japanese. No, I've never seen that.
I've never even heard of those.
Yeah, because I think I've still got my set of Starfleet blueprints that had all the ships from Star Trek The Motion Picture, and I have the Starfleet Technical Manual as well, because I'm such a geek.
Yeah, I have the Starfleet Technical Manual and the Mr. Scott's Guide.
Mm.
And I also have, my wife got me for Christmas one year, she got me the fold-out drawings from the set of Superman the movie.
Oh.
You know, how the production designer sketched it out so that they could build the sets.
Mm. Nice.
Those are cool.
Oh, and he signs off. Cheers. Tim Elliott, Texas. Well, that is our only email. I did have other correspondence. It might have been from Tim, but I thought there was another Facebook message, but it's been so long I lost the Facebook message. I can't find it.
Facebook ate it.
Yes. It sucks. It sucks to try to search for something if you don't know what you're looking for. Well, I guess that would matter with anything if you don't know what you're... But anyway, I'm Dr. Phil, and that's my shtick. I'm an idiot. So, with that, I guess we will take a brief commercial time out, and we will come back and cover Episode 3, the Ultra Menace Missile, or Missile, depending on your pronunciation.
My name is Grundy, born on a Monday. The following recording was taken from an NSA wiretap of a Back to the Bins taping. No names have been changed. Everyone is guilty.
Do I need mine, or am I good where I'm at?
Well, now you do. If I have mine, you have yours.
You might want to yours only if you do have it set to automatically, because you don't want it to automatically, because the thing never works right. Because what'll happen is it'll be used to you at a particular and then if you go out of that, it scrambles to a and it doesn't fast enough. So it's better to just set it up.
Oh, okay.
It really doesn't work well.
So I checked.
Right.
I checked my my king. It definitely billed me for the hotel for all three of us.
Join Back to the Bins every week for goodness. Solomon Grundy hate voiceovers.
Hi, I'm Gene Hendricks. You may remember me from such shows as the Hammer Podcasts and the Quantum Cast. I'd like to tell you about some special shows that I'm doing with some of your favorite podcasters. These shows are all about the live-action versions of comic book characters, and I'm calling them...
Legends of the Superheroes!
In each episode, we'll be looking at a different TV show or movie featuring characters like...
Wonder Woman!
Dr. David Banner.
And let's not forget about the non-superheroes, such as...
Swamp Thing.
Captain William Buck Rogers.
And many more. Look for the Legends of the Superheroes specials under the Hammer Podcasts at twotruefreaks.com.
Yeah, play it. Come on. Play it loud. Play it loud.
And now, it's time to sit back and enjoy the Two True Freaks Internet Radio Broadcast.
Illogic. Foolish emotions. A constant irritant. And transfer out! Freak!
Two! Belong in a circus. Right next to the dog-faced boy.
True! I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
It's a super prize package worth $9,300.
money. This isn't the biggest bag over the head punch in the face I ever got. God damn it! Ow!
Don't like banging.
And now, together by live simulation via the internet, your hosts, Scott Gardner.
He killed a police officer, for Christ's sake!
You're goddamn lucky to kill him.
And Chris Honeywell.
Keep away! Keep away from me!
You are physically repulsive, intellectually retarded, vulgar, insensitive, selfish, stupid. You have no taste, a lousy sense of humor, and you smell.
So you're looking at me? Yeah, because she thought you're some kind of freak. Now come on, let's
God,
go.
she likes me, eh?
No way.
Shut up, you freak!
Julius, you.
I said shut up! It's a madhouse! A madhouse!
TwoTrueFreaks.com.
And I guess we had to come up with a return slogan. And we're back is kind of taken. Konnichiwa!
And they're going half the audience.
What? I think that way I used that phrase properly. Jeez.
Well, at least you didn't try and do it in an accent.
I just said konnichiwa. Oh, you mean I can konnichiwa? Yeah. There went half the audience. Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto. Yeah, see, that's just bad. Okay, all right, enough dilly-dallying. We're back, and we're here to discuss episode 3 of season 1 of Star Blazers, and I seem to be getting the odd episodes. Is there a pattern here, Gene? Just because I'm odd, I get the odd ones?
I thought it's because you volunteered, but
oh, okay.
I'll go with your theory.
Yeah, that'll work. And we have episode 3, the Ultra Menace Missile. Now, you know what? We don't have any credits or anything for these, but, we'll work on that next time.
Right.
But not this time. So first off, I'm going to read the generic Wikipedia synopsis, and then I'm going to do my synopsis about what really happened. So, here we go. To make the journey from Earth to Iskandar, Captain Avatar speaks before the assembled Star Force inductees, asking for those willing to make the daring journey to come aboard. Come aboard, we're expecting you, the Star Force. Soon. All right, never mind. In response to his request, a number of volunteers elect to sign on for the trip, including cadets Wildstar and Venture, Nova, a nurse and radar operator, Sandor, an engineer and chief mechanic, Dr. Sane, ship's doctor, and IQ-9, a robot with a sense of humor. Meanwhile, Colonel Gantz, the Gamlon commander on Pluto, receives permission to test out the new Ultra Menace missile against the new Earth battleship. The newly formed Star Force crew manages to shoot down the missile and avoid the devastation left in its wake. With the fate of the Earth dependent on the success of the mission, the newly operational battleship is rechristened Argo and departs on her first mission. Meanwhile, Wildstar, who harbors a grudge against Captain Avatar for his brother's failure to return safely from the Battle of Pluto, learns a shocking revelation about the captain's own family life. Earth has only 363 days left. So,
that really didn't tell you anything good about what happened in the episode.
That didn't tell you jack crap as to what happened in the episode, because there's so many other weird things that happened in this episode. So, now the rest of the story. We open with Gantz receiving a call from a creepy, glowing-eyed head of Leader Deathlock. That should be the scariest-looking phone I've ever seen in my... It would be like if I had a Gene Hendricks head on my desk. Oh, no, wait. Let me back that up. It would be if I had a 3-foot Gene Hendricks head on my wall that every time Gene's voice came out of it, his eyes would light up.
But it had to be positioned under your television so that whenever you're watching TV, you can just see the eyes light up.
Bill, it's time for another show. Oh my God, the giant Gene Hendricks head's talking to me.
Excuse me while I fix my shorts.
They agree to use the not phallic looking at all Ultra Menace missile against the Earth battleship launching from Pluto. Pluto! Freaking Pluto! They're launching from Pluto to the Earth. What a shot. And no, it wasn't phallic looking at all because it just... You think it's going to be because this thing rises up out of the ground and you're going, whoa, okay. Oh, wait, that's it? It's just a head? Where's the rest of it? Okay. And it's this big, round, bulbous head with a drill. It, like, spins, and it just takes off. It goes, Pluto to Earth. Boom, gone. Meanwhile, back on Earth, Captain Avatar gives us an exposition update and basically gives anyone that doesn't want to go a way to back out. If they're a coward... Anybody like to leave? Go ahead.
We won't hold it against you. Seriously. We won't.
Right. And then the Star Force marches through the street as the crowd looks on and cheer or fight or cry. Two guys get in a fist fight. Two of the dopiest looking animated guys I've ever seen in the series. Yeah, well, what are you going to do? Oh, I got It's completely ridiculous. Oh, and by the way, Nova's mom is hot. And her dad married way out of his league. That's all I got to say.
We're talking bouncing boy and duo damsel here.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much what they look like, too.
Yeah, he's bouncing. Yeah. You're like, wow, oh, Nova. And she's so she's so dramatic. Oh, my little girl. Oh. Almost sounds like there's a man voice in her, but that's a man, baby. EDF, Earth's Defense Force, tracks the paths of the Ultra Menace missile. But no one bothers to tell the Star Force. Huh?
It's going to hit the Star Force in less than an hour. Well, make sure you triple check that before you tell them.
And they don't say anything. Nothing. It's just like, they just say that. It's going to hit... It's been launched to the Earth. It's going to hit the Star Force. Okay. You don't see somebody over at the ship going, oh, hey, there's a missile on the way. Venture reaches the ship after having some inner monologue doubts along his march. Finding Wildstar, or should I say Debbie Downer, on the bridge, pretty much saying, why bother? We're not going to make it anyway. The captain doesn't know what he's doing. The discussion is quickly shelved as 4 other crew members arrive. Conroy, Domo Arigato, Mr. Roboto. Sorry, that's Gilroy, my bad. Dash, Homer, Dope! And Eager, watch the beaver jokes. Next, the old man arrives, and Venture has to ask the most ridiculous question ever.
Yes.
Avatar tells them that energy buildup is completed. Venture's question, as he turns and looks at the captain, what does energy buildup mean? Really? Really? Like, if I was captain, he would be off the bridge. Why are you here? Did you not fly the ship last episode?
Well, he is a cadet. I mean, yes, I know he is the pilot in charge of the entire crew. And listen to this. Eager is the assistant pilot under Venture. Therefore, this guy who doesn't know what the definition of energy buildup is has subordinates. He should have pointy hair.
And Eager's got the Forrest Gump.
Yeah, he's the Texas boy.
Eager here, yes, sir. Man, just further cements my theory that Venture is Venture Gump. I'm just anyway. As much as I love the show, I mean, it's kind of fun to kind of pick it apart a little bit. Anyway, after they suck up the energy from the rest of the world and wait to lift off, Avatar takes Venture and Wildstar on an inspection of the ship, probably to find something or somewhere to drop Venture into.
I'm surprised they didn't kick him out of the cannon.
Well, yes, okay. As the snazzy jazz music plays, Avatar takes them into the barrel of the wave motion gun, which they don't know where they are. Where are we? Oh, I don't know. We're standing in this giant piece of metal with a hole at the end of it with rifling. Where do you think we are?
Rifling for an energy weapon.
Well, actually,
okay.
I thought about that because I looked at it and I thought, why do you have rifling for an energy weapon? There is no rifling because it doesn't spin. It just goes straight out the end. I was like, oh, okay. Anyway, Avatar locks them in and fires. Oh, no, wait, sorry. They stare out at the sunset. Meanwhile, EDF confirms that the Gamelon missile is again still heading for the Star Force, and again does not tell them. Avatar drops the boys off with Nova, and okay, I gotta say, these two guys would be charged so fast with a sexual harassment suit, it's ridiculous. As soon as they walk through the door and there's Nova, and they go, okay, get a grip, guys. Anyway, she shows them...
Only woman on the ship.
Only woman on the ship. And I had said earlier that I said she was the only person on the ship with a gun, but you were nice enough to point out to me that Wildstar does have a gun. But it just kind of sticks out more on her because it's way slung low on her hip next to that pointed arrow that points somewhere. Anyway, she shows them the quote-unquote holography room that happens to have hula girls in it. Wait, what? Okay, guys, shut your mouths. It's just a hologram. Jesus. IQ9, meanwhile, is getting into some hot hula action when Nova puts the deep freeze on him and changes to a winter setting.
I gotta see that. I have to look that one up in the original because, like I said last time, IQ9 or Analyzer in Space Battleship Yamato is a pervert obsessed with Nova. So I'm wondering if he said something in the Japanese version that made her
click.
Put him on the, give him a cold shower, essentially.
Probably. Next up, Sandor shows him his pride and joy. The dynamic do-all. Really? I heard that. Went, what? I gotta. The dynamic. Oh. Anyway, he shows him how to create a new astro cycle, except it seems to be 1/4 size scale. Great. Super. Next.
That's for Boxy to ride. Oh, wait, wrong show.
Yeah, because they're looking through and it's going through all these steps and it's putting it together and it spray paints it and then it rolls out and it's in front of the three of them. I'm like, they can't fit in that. What the heck good is this?
It should have a box on it to put the quarter in so it can rock back and forth.
Not shown actual scale. It's just like, what the? This is great if I need something a quarter the size I need it to be. Here, why don't you make it 4 times bigger than it needs to be so it comes out the right size? Hey, guess what? Oh, wait, no, I jumped ahead. Onto the hangar deck. And the wave motion engine, where Orion gives Venture a crash course on operation, and Wildstar is talking, and gives Wildstar a talking down that he has been asking for since the start of the series. He learns that everyone has lost someone, including the captain, who lost his own son, I believe, at the Battle of Pluto as well.
Yes.
And hey, guess what? The EDF finally told the Argo about the missile.
With the whole 10 minutes to spare.
Yeah. Wildstar reports to the captain, and as Avatar leaves to go to the bridge, a picture of him and his son falls out, and Wildstar takes note. Yeah, about time he notices something besides his own whiny needs. Back on the bridge, they suddenly have to go through a crap ton of procedures to lift off and either attack or move out of the way of the missile. And like we said, didn't they just flick a switch last time and take off?
Yeah, pretty much. Last time, if you remember, people, the Argo was buried actually in the crust of the Earth.
And it was encased completely, like it had like the whole superstructure. Now, this time It's not. It's buried back in the Earth. Almost like they came back and landed back in the same spot because that's where all the hookups were underneath it.
Yeah, but last time they just said, oh, we have to take off and fight this carrier that just is coming after us, and they took off. Now it's like, well, we have to do this build-up to start the auxiliary engine, then start the wave motion engine. It was flying last time.
Venture Gump begins the startup in a Millennium Falcon-like scene, and the engine fails. Oops, my bad, I forgot a switch here. On the second go-around, they try again, only to appear to fail, and Wildstar mouths off, only to have Avatar shut him up, because he is tired of his shit.
That is the best.
Because he's like, it didn't work! Shut quiet!
Hey, quiet! And then he gets his angry eyes.
Yeah. Slowly the engines build up and they lift off with 3 minutes to missile impact. The command is given the turn to port, which is odd because the view from the bridge has them turning to port, which is left, but the external shot has the ship turning starboard, which is right. And I learned port and starboard in the Navy because port and left had the same amount of letters. That's the only way I can remember which way port was. And then to remember left, I have to hold my hands up and put my thumbs out, and then the one with the L is the port side. I've spoke too much.
You know, it works the same way if you make a P with your fingers.
P.
You hold your arm up and you curl your fingers down to make a P.
Oh!
It's the same thing.
Oh.
And I wasn't even in the Navy.
In the Navy. Okay, anyway. I've lost my track. Anywho, they blast the missile with the main shock cannons and appear on the other side of the debris cloud. And it's not just a debris cloud. It's like a full-blown nuclear explosion.
It's a gigantic mushroom cloud.
Yeah, and then there's this just huge cloud, and the ship just comes out majestically, and they head off into space.
And they got some great music.
Yeah, and there are only 363 days left. Hurry, Star Force. Hurry. But yeah, that scene of them blasting the missile, that was also in the live-action movie.
Yeah, except in the live-action movie, they used the wave motion gun.
Right, which is probably a little overkill, but
well,
yeah.
Yeah.
So, yep, and that's what really happened in episode 3.
And just want to point one thing out, that this is the first time that we see General Gans as the Gamelon commander on the Pluto base. He will figure in prominently over the next several episodes.
Mm-hmm.
And he is... This is where we're starting to see maybe somebody's talking to him, because he is a tan-skinned Gamelon. He and his assistant. But
not next episode.
Next episode, next episode he still is, but in the next episode, Deathlock's assistant, General Crypt, is blue-skinned.
They just keep changing colors.
Yeah. They're actually a race of chameleons.
I guess. It's like, ooh, I'm standing in front of a pink wall. Ooh, I'm in a blue wall. Plaid. I don't know what to do.
Oh, and we should point out that Venture has a younger brother.
Yes. Yeah.
Named Geordi.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, there's a Star Trek joke right there.
Except it's 20 years before that.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, this was a weird one, really. I mean, this is...
It almost seems like this should have been the second episode.
Right.
And then they just should have re-edited this and just changed. It just was weird.
Yeah, the whole point of the episode seems to be, let's get the viewers familiar with the ship. You know, everything else seems to be secondary to the tour of the ship. But really, you could have done that in episodes down the line.
Right.
You know, you just, hey, Wildstar, you're being a bit of a dick. We don't have any Snickers, so why don't you go to the holography room?
Not feeling yourself? Yeah, he is, man, he's totally manic. He's just massive mood swings. You know, 1 second he's gung-ho, the next he's, we're all going to die. You know, just...
Yeah, and Orion, in the big speech, I'm half waiting for him just to smack Wildstar upside the head. It's like, oh, your brother died. I'm sorry about that, but guess what? The captain lost his son.
Let me show you. Damn mouth. Let me show you the inside of this cabinet. Bam! Oh, you see anything now, boy? You bet you're seeing stars. Your lucky stars. Ain't funny, is it, you little bastard?
And by the way, the captain's standing right behind you, you stupid son of a bitch.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got no volume control.
Yeah.
You know. One thing that was cool when they were doing the tour of the ship is that they would cut to a diagram of the ship. Like a cutaway.
like a blueprint, basically.
Yes. Yeah. It looked like a blueprint, and it would show the different pieces, the different sections of where you thought they were going to be going, which was pretty cool.
Yeah. It didn't match anything on the layout of the actual ship, but it was pretty cool.
No.
So we're going to put this fighter plane in the bow, but it launches out of the stern. No, we're putting it here. Okay, whatever.
Flies out the barrel at the last second. Poof.
Bow is the front of the ship. Stern is the rear of the ship.
Mm-hmm.
For the naval impaired.
Or you could go up on the forecastle. Or forecastle.
As long as you have your spacesuit on.
How it's really pronounced. I know the first time I saw it, forecastle, what is it? That's a forecastle! Oh, excuse me. Oh, my God.
I will not get into the reason for the name. Because I can go off on tangents just like you can. We're not going to start. We're not going to get back to that.
We'll save those for other episodes.
Yes. Yeah, it's funny, though. The only note I have for after they destroyed the Ultra Menace missile is big bada boom.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Because that's what it was. It was huge.
Did they make it? Yay! And they're all yay! The Star Wars made it! We're not going to die yet.
Oh, one bit of that I found very interesting is you get to see when they fire the main guns, you get to see inside. And there's a crewman actually inside the main gun, the turret.
Yeah.
So it's not Wildstar dealing with these automated weapons. He's actually commanding gun crews to turn each individual turret. And he has a line in there, like turret 3, 15 degrees left or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was a kid, I never picked up on that. I thought it was just, oh, well, he's the gunnery officer. He's sitting there. He's just turning a dial and the guns are going that way. Yeah, no, it's like an actual battleship.
Yeah. I actually had a chance to go on the Wisconsin, which is the Missouri class, and and actually went in the turret on the Wisconsin. That was the same one where they had the explosion on the Missouri that killed the gun crew. And it's a big place. However, it's also cramped, and if there's an explosion, there's really nowhere for it to go.
Yeah, because it got like
it's got 18 inches. It's got 18 inches of steel.
Yeah.
So there's very little places for explosions to vent. So that was like, oh wow, that's pretty cool. The way they had those guys in there, but I don't remember. Did they have hearing protection?
I don't know.
What?
It's a really brief look in there.
You blink and you'll miss it. This guy's just sitting there, and it's when it shows the recoil.
Yes.
From the inside, it shows, and it comes back like a chamber, and then goes back up. The good old main guns, the shock cannons.
Yes.
And then this is where didn't Avatar have the button, and he pressed the button?
In episode 2.
Was it 2? But he didn't do it here. Okay.
He didn't do it here. Apparently, because he makes a mention as they're going through. It's just a voiceover in the tour that he says, "Wildstar, the gunnery computer I showed you is under your command." So I'm guessing that's the point where he says, "Fine, that button you saw, I'm leaving it in the drawer. You get to do everything from now on." That's it. That's my no prize for it anyway.
That's the captain's reset button.
That's that big red button we talked about.
Well, I guess we can move on to episode 4. You ready?
Yeah.
All right, take it away.
Okay. The test warp to Mars. After escaping the Ultra Menace missile, the Star Force takes off from Earth and passes the moon orbit. A Gamelon fighter carrier is dispatched from Pluto again to intercept Earth's newest space battleship. In order to provide time for the Star Force to prepare for their first ever space warp, Wildstar takes a detachment of Black Tiger space fighters out to intercept the Gamelon carrier. Wildstar's efforts... Wildstar? He was out there alone? Anyway. Wildstar's efforts provide the needed time, and once the fighters are back aboard, after a little bit of drama, the warp is initiated just as the Gamelon missiles nearly reach it. The warp takes the Star Force through a psychedelic yellow submarine-like space from the moon to Mars. However, some damage is sustained during the transition. Avatar orders the Argo to land on Mars for repairs, and while the crew takes the opportunity to play in the Martian snowstorm, Avatar, actually in a spacesuit for the only time you will see him, talks to the Argo directly. On Gamelon, Leader Deathlock praises the Star Force's determination to get to Iskandar, even by such dangerous means as warp travel. Earth has only 362 days left. Now, after the silliness of last time, this was actually a fairly straightforward, action-y, science-y kind of episode.
Well, there are a few.
Well, there's a couple things.
But they're good. It's not heavily goofy.
Now, the drama I spoke about is, if you remember, we were introduced to Conroy, the deputy leader of the Black Tigers, in episode 3.
Which, I'm thinking Conroy had a face change and some hairstyle and a different uniform.
Exactly. What happens is a fighter with a pilot identified as Conroy is hit and has trouble getting back to the Argo. This is not Conroy. Even though they call him Conroy and use that voice actor, this is actually a character known as Hardy.
Ah, because he looked more like Dash, but I was like, no, but he's not. He's not Dash.
Right, he's got the long hair that goes over the one eye, like Jessica Rabbit.
Yeah.
But he's in later episodes. I'm not sure if it's in this season or season 2. But he's another Southern boy. And he has a completely different voice. You know, obviously a different name. But throughout this episode, they're calling him Conroy. And that even as a kid, when I first saw that, I'm like, that's not Conroy. I know what Conroy looks like. That's not him. But it was a good episode. And like I said before, this is where we first see Crypt, who is Deathlock's general in waiting, basically. And this is our first view of Gamelon. Up until this point, we've seen Deathlock, we've seen Gamelons, but we've never seen the planet.
Right.
Now, we don't get to see an exterior view, but we get to see, the Gamelon, at least some buildings on the planet.
Right. The not phallic shaped at all buildings.
Right.
No, not at
all. And it's funny because I can't remember what the show was we were watching, but we were watching something on how an actual warp drive might work by folding space, and you actually touch 2 points of space.
Was that Event Horizon?
No, it was like on Science
Show.
Oh,
it was a show. Oh, sorry.
It was a show. And they're talking about, okay, well, if you picture space as a sine wave, and we go from this peak to this peak, and my wife's sitting there, and she's like, oh, wow, that's really cool. And I'm laughing my ass off.
Star Force did that years ago.
And she just looks at me. I said, no. I pull out YouTube and say, watch this. And it's the whole speech that Sandor gives about how we're traveling along a sine wave. But in order to jump the intervening distance, we go from peak to peak. But we have to be in the exact right place at the exact right time to make sure that we don't get lost in the fourth dimension.
Okay, and let me just point one thing out.
Uh-oh.
About that whole maneuver.
Yes.
Who are they completely dependent on for that? Come on.
Venture Gump.
That's right.
But
everything is depending. We're all depending on you, Venture. Oh, shit.
And then Avatar realizes what he does, and Nova, you assist him.
Yeah. Life is like a sine wave. I just got to jump from peak to peak.
Oh, man. And here's the best part. Okay, everyone, you remember how the Ultra Menace missile was launched from Pluto last episode and got to Earth really quick? And how this episode, they launched a fighter carrier from Pluto and it got to Earth really quick? Avatar says that normally it would take a month to get from the Earth to Mars? Really? A month.
They got some pretty fast ships. Obviously, the Gamelon ships are even faster and don't have the warp space.
Yeah, no kidding.
Unless they're warping and just not telling anybody.
Yeah.
But
this
Deathlock
same...
says it's such a brave and bold maneuver. Oh, my head hurts.
I also like how we didn't see Dr. Sane really last episode, but this episode,
we know why.
He was in detox.
No, he was sleeping quietly in a sleeping tube with his mineral water bottle next to him.
And IQ9 wakes him up.
I thought you wanted to see the space warp, Doctor. What? Oh, I've such a headache. Oh, I was just taking a nap, IQ9. Glug, 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 glug. Yeah, I gotta love Deathlock is so smug.
Yes.
But so smug, such arrogance. You know the meme, all the pictures with the what was it, Doge, the dog, and he says, such this, much that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We need to have the Deathlock or Doglock. Deathlock's body with the dog face, or the dog with the Deathlock face. Such smug, much arrogant, kill Star Force.
But we do get to see a little bit more of Deathlock's personality in this, because at the end he basically toasts the Star Force. Like, oh wow, they're that nuts. Okay,
yeah, and it's either Gantz or Crips, Crip or Crips,
Crypt, like Tales from the.
Ah, yes, that says the line that I'm like, what? Space is vast, but there is no place to hide. What the?
Yeah, really. I mean,
it's like, okay, I get what he's saying, but it's just so. What?
Well, they know the Star Force is going to Iskandar.
Yeah,
because they mention it. They say, "Oh, well, they're that desperate to get to Iskandar." So really, there is no place to hide because you only have the one course.
Well, yeah, okay, we know where the Earth is. We know where Iskandar is. You're going to go in a straight line pretty much, or, jumping on sine waves, but we think we can find you.
Yeah. It was I think this is probably the start of the more dramatic episodes.
Yeah.
Like, last episode, it had some tension, but that was mainly because of the Earth Defense Force. But this one, this is where we're setting the pattern, I think. It's okay, the Star Force is going here. Mm-hmm. The Gamelons try and do something to stop them. The Star Force succeeds, but they get damaged. Now they have to go here to repair.
Yeah, they have to stop an IQ-9 to snow angels on Mars.
Right.
Yeah. Which that was pretty cool. They're like, oh, moisture. We haven't seen moisture in quite a while because there's no oceans left on the Earth. Yeah, there's a sad scene as they leave the Earth at the beginning of the episode, and they say, because you could see where most of the land masses, the existing land masses were, but there's no oceans anymore because all the water's boiled away from the radiation and the explosions. And it's a pretty touching scene because it almost looks like Mars at first. You're like, is that the Earth or is that Mars or something?
Yeah.
But if that launch was so critical, why was it not being done by a computer? and why does Avatar go now? And then Venture goes now. I'm like, wait, but you guys already missed it because you're all saying now. Just press the freaking button.
Well, it's the same reason that, from being in the Navy, the commanding officer can't give a subordinate a direct order. He has to give it to the XO, who has to give it to whoever, who has to give it to whoever, and then they carry it out.
Yeah. Oh, but that space jump. Oof.
Oh, man.
Barf.
I was actually waiting for a yellow submarine to go right by them.
They went by the Argo in a scene from 2001: A Space Odyssey. There's prehistoric cavemen sitting by a fire as the Argo goes by behind them in a rippling, not a direct cell, but like they just manipulated it so that it's wavering and fading, and it goes behind them with this and then they go by dinosaurs, and then the ship flies into itself, and
the crew is split up. Like Avatar goes actually
is like got four he like splits into four, and he's all swirling around the screen,
all different colors. Nova's popping in everywhere. Wildstar is flying his chair around the bridge.
Yeah.
It is, and the sound effects that they have behind it. Oh man, it really enforces the trippy nature of all this.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it was like they flew through a Salvador Dali painting.
Yeah, really.
And then they come out and they're all white. Oh my god! We made
it. I think that's what Sandor was doing at the end, because he's one of the last ones to wake up. He just comes up and he's like, ah.
Yeah, and then like you said earlier, they land on Mars and start the repairs, and you can see the ship just got torn up for no real apparent reason.
Yeah, it's like the back quarter of it just kind of blew out.
Yeah, some poor soul out back there and get sucked out into space, blown out into space. Excuse me.
But don't worry, everyone. It will be repaired by the beginning of the next episode.
Yep. Which at that time, I didn't double check. One of the episodes' name is Paladin, and
that's episode 6.
Yeah. What?
Episode 5 is our favorite one. Jupiter's
oh, that's right.
Continent.
Jupiter's floating continent. Yes.
That's the first activation of the wave motion gun.
Beep 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 beep. Then you're gonna pause. Aren't you gonna shoot, Gene?
Maybe. You're the sound effects guy.
Yeah,
but that will have to wait for our next episode.
Next time. Oh wait, that's Hey Kids. Damn.
Man, we're just stealing from all kind of people today.
Paul and I have been doing that on Back to the Bins.
Well, Andy actually wrote me an email.
Oh.
Because I sent him a message after catching up with Hey Kids. I said, I've been doing something like this, and he said, well, the best form of imitation is to steal.
Yeah.
Or something to that effect. He's British. He said it better.
Well, all the Brits say things better.
Yeah.
I guess we go out there.
Okay.
Visit our website at twotruefreaks.com. Two True Freaks is always spelled TWOTRUEFREAKS.
You can email Two True Freaks directly at twotruefreaks@gmail.com.
Two True Freaks and all of its excellent affiliates are available on iTunes, and you can choose to subscribe to either the entire network if you wish, or pick whichever individual shows you want to follow. We have so many shows to choose from, there's just bound to be one that appeals to your particular fandom. Just search Two True Freaks with an exclamation mark at the end, space, and the number 2.
You can find Two True Freaks on Facebook. Just search for Two True Freaks. Dumbass. If you ever leave your house and you actually have friends, why don't you tell them about Two True Freaks?
If you've enjoyed our show, please, won't you take a moment to rate us on iTunes? That helps others find the show too.
Thanks for listening.
And join us every Monday for new episodes of
Two True Freaks.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me eat this ice cube for a second. So when I was a kid, I used to chew ice. And my mother says, it's bad for your teeth. Okay. So we went to the dentist. She goes to the dentist and says, I need you to tell my son why it's bad that he chews. Okay, because I was using logic to explain why chewing ice was good for my teeth.
Uh-huh.
Because I explained to my mother, as I chewed my last ice cube.
Yes.
I said, the way I look at it is a dog chews dog biscuits to clean his teeth. If I chew ice, it should clean my teeth too. So She goes to the dentist and says, I need you to tell my son why chewing ice is bad for his teeth. The dentist looks at her and looks at me and looks back at her and says, I chew ice all the time. Yeah, that didn't work.
Yeah. Well, you see, I do the same thing. I chew ice pretty much constantly, or if I'm at work, I chew gum.
Mm-hmm.
But then, I got into the habit because my dad chews ice all the time. So it's not like they could have told me, hey, don't do this. Well, he's doing it.
Have you ever tried to chew ice and gum at the same time?
It gets really weird.
It does, because like the ice will get stuck in the gum, when then the gum becomes super hard, like rubber.
Yeah.
And then you're really on the... Yeah, it's weird. This has been Gum Chewing with Gene and Bill. All right, so